EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. They have gathered from around the world here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final major championship of the year. We will crown our next PGA Championship winner. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Happy to be here calling all the action. Frank, what is the mindset for this final major of the season?
Oh, I think it's taken a long time to get here, but it's well-deserved, Rich. When you think of the luster of the Wanamaker Trophy, winners like Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth are recent, but Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, the list goes on and on. The fourth major, some say the defining major of the year, but played at a golf course that we're well used to now. So I'm looking forward to it, Rich. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Settles in over the putt. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Has this now for bogey. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Looks like he just misread that. Just a couple of feet. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. Well, it's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the 4th. With a key stretch of holes ahead, our featured golfer really has struggled in the early going, Frank.
Yeah, a few mistakes out there, unforced errors you might want to say. So really, attention to detail should be the concern right now.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Gonna need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
He'll need to get all of this one. 200 yards, the second shot. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Now his third, staring right at the green.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Two over for the day.
Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. Sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Good swing, good shot yet again. Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So, 1 over par for the round. Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Just 5 feet left. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6 and a 7 and an 8 or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank, not surprisingly, Rory McIlroy owns the event record here, 21 under par. That came in 2015. He won by a touchdown by 7 shots. And then we all remember what he did here in 2010.
Yeah, you remember the runner-up, which was Patrick Rogers. He shot 14 under, and that's won just about every other championship at this event. So it shows you the magnitude of Rory's victory. An artist needs a canvas, a golfer needs a golf course. For Rory McIlroy, Quail Hollow was the perfect landscape to show his skills. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank's second shot here at the par 5 7th. You having a go at this one?
Yes, but you still have to respect the water and the trouble around. So anything slightly left of that flag is fine.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Losing a bit of ground now in this point. With the bogey, falls to 2 over. Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today. Headed for the bunker? Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, I thought he had that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Well, Frank, what do you think of the 9th hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here.
Wait, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Getting set now over the putt. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here we are on the back 9 now at Quail Hollow, and a good scoring opportunity to kick off the inward 9.
It is, Rich. It's sort of reminiscent of the 10th hole at Valhalla. Remember the challenge, or should I say the charge, that Rory McIlroy started that in that very hole when he made eagle. It's the same opportunity here. Reachable par 5, just under 600 yards, but you really could get off to a great start.
In the fairway here at the 10th, a nice way to start off the back 9. And his second shot here at the par 5. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He has a birdie opportunity here. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want to, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high. Others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
You really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really, that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
Nice par to remain 1 under. Now to the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And getting ready for the putt. One under for the round. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the whole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try. Oh, that's fine.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
And here at 14, another chance to make a birdie with the right approach shot.
Yeah, laying back there a lengthy way in, the green will still kick to the left. So even though it's a wedge in hand, you've got to aim right at this flag.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron,
knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, you've navigated so many leaderboards in your career. This is the way to do it, isn't it?
Oh, there's plenty of holes ahead too, Rich. Third place, a really good position to be playing from here on in.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. This has really been impressive. Started off slowly, just didn't have a whole lot, but kind of hung in there, fought when it wasn't going their way, and now here they are with a few birdies, really playing well at the closing stretch. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough and into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Made the par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has that plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Nice par to remain 3 under.
Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Very aggressive mode with that birdie now in second place.
There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field, and this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in on our featured golfer here at the first. Stepping up to the first tee and off a surprisingly good first round. Let's see if our featured player can conjure up some of that magic here in round two. Excellent looking shot here.
Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
There's a big mound in the middle of this green, Rich, and the ball has a tendency to kick either side of that, so just be aware.
This is a good-looking shot. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
In for par. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
It's not all bad.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. And he's made it onto the green now. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Now the approach here at the third.
He'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That is a solid par putt. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the fourth at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Knows it is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. this putt for birdie. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. In for par. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on, do you go for this par 5 and 2? It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Now set for the second shot here at the par 5 7th hole. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round.
Just moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement.
And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk. Off the flight path again.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
And getting ready for the putt. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Rickie Fowlers have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, break down this approach shot here at the long par 4 9th.
Well, it's a lengthy one. A nice high, soft landing shot would work, but don't be too concerned if you're a little left or right of target, because the mounding on the green should help in your favor. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, what's the right play here on the 10th?
Favor the left side. Everything will slope towards the right. Just be careful that grass bunker, sort of front right. The ball will sort of come a long way down to the front edge of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
But a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. That's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
And setting up here in the rough.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, another one goes in.
Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard three-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That one was struck solid, about 290.
Frank, the PGA Championship historically has given us some of the game's greatest names.
Yeah, I think the diversity of the championship now, the fact that it allows 20 club professionals to go in, the people that teach the game, and yet at the same token, it allows the best players to showcase. The Nicklauses of the world, the Gary Players of the world, all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame that have played this great game, that have tried to win the PGA Championship. This is an event that started in match play. and it's now fully entrenched as one of the great stroke play events in the world.
Ooh, that hurts. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
In for par. We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Oh, looked like you caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Bit surprising. Misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
Solid play, heart of the green. Nudge this one home, finish it up. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4. 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Oh, man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked. Normally you'd say that's a bad tee shot, but this is a pattern, Rich.
Getting some sand in the shoes now. We're a second straight hole. He's in the bunker. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Great execution. Right out of the bunker and right next to the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
A good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Setting up for an approach shot here.
but you can't afford to give away strokes coming down the stretch. There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.